Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I am honored to be speaking at the Women Who AI Summit. I'm very excited about my topic today, and especially that I can be bringing you AI tools and processes that you can be using to create superior visual assets for you and your business, more eye-catching graphics with stronger psychological impact, and you can be creating them faster and for less money than you've ever been able to. From my LinkedIn profile, you'll see that I'm the AI-powered graphic designer. I'm a next-gen graphic designer who implements and leverages AI tools in my processes for precision-targeted insights and designs to create the perfect visuals that not only up-level your brand, but also resonate with the expectations of today's consumer to give my customers the competitive edge that they need. AI tools pervade my work, letting me get incredible audience insights that previously would have taken months of research and cost a lot of money. It allows me to do things like analyze design layout for optimal user experience, align creative design with audience psychometrics for the absolute most impact, and so much more. And just in case there was any doubt about the business importance of killer visuals, the human brain operates on visuals. You have just one chance, less than 8 seconds actually, to make a first impression online. Eye-catching graphics grab attention. And if well done, they can actually engender trust, curiosity, and deeper exploration of yourself and your brand. But just for context, LinkedIn, the social media platform for business, where businesses need to be seen, there are 4.5 million coaches, 3.7 million graphic designers, 2.8 million marketing consultants, and somewhere around 2 million people in the wellness space. How can you differentiate yourself from your competition without getting a television ad or a billboard in Times Square? Visuals, killer visuals. So whether it's you, your team, or you're hiring a graphic designer like myself, the best approach that you can be taking is to understand and utilize AI tools. So as promised, today I'm going to be walking you through some powerful AI tools. Some you might already be familiar with, that you can be combining to totally revolutionize your brand graphics. So in my process in creating marketing and branding graphic designs for businesses, my core AI tool stack, a combination that I use that's about 8 or 9 tools, only 4 of them have freemium models. And so today I'm going to be walking through a process using those 4 tools. But if you want to see the entire suite of tools, I posted a LinkedIn carousel a while back with details on each tool, and I also have an article that goes further into detail about each one, so you can check those out on LinkedIn. So today, the 4 tools that I'm going to be using in my process are ChatGPT, not only to generate some really good ideas, but also to dig into audience analysis. So we are completely dialed in on the types of visuals we're going to need for our target audience. And with those ideas from ChatGPT in our pocket, we filter them through our creative imagination and start conceptualizing what kind of visuals we're going to want for this project. And from there, we're going to go to our second tool with our ideas. We're going to get into MidJourney. So using MidJourney, you can be creating images that are exactly the image, the motif, or the element that you're envisioning. Stuff that previously would have taken hours, days, sometimes weeks to find searching stock image sites and then paying $100 or more per photo if you find something that you like. And in my experience, you're never finding the exact photo that you're looking for. That's of the correct demographic or facial expression, etc. So it's a very powerful tool. So next, once we have some images that we like from MidJourney, we're going to pull them into our third tool, which is Adobe Firefly. Now, this is an incredible tool also where you can tweak the images, make little changes, add things, subtract things. I love to change facial expressions or change the focus of someone's eyes, even change their outfit. It's absolutely incredible. So the final step of this process where we're going to pull this design together is going to be Canva. You've probably heard of it. And we're going to be using the free version, though the premium version does have awesome AI tools that I use all the time. Now, for this step of the project, I usually use Adobe Photoshop, which also has AI functionality with its generative fill, But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be using Canva just because it's free and accessible and easily used by anybody. So for the first two tools, we need to know a little bit about prompt writing, the instructions that you give to the AI tools like ChatGPT and MidJourney to get the rich output that you're looking for. Now, prompt writing is a little bit outside of the scope of this demo video, but I work with businesses to create them custom prompts for their unique purposes. And so if you have any questions, feel free to DM me and we can talk about it. But for the scope of this video, I'm just going to be talking about the rationale behind creating the prompt that you need, and the iterating of those prompts, which is usually always necessary, especially for things like MidJourney. Now, to set the scene, I'm going to be demoing the design process for creating an ebook cover. Now, it's actually going to be based on a product I created just recently for a client, Fanny Dunnigan. Fanny works with technology leaders to turn their expertise, stories, and life lessons into engaging content for LinkedIn, and she has a podcast launching this month. The ebook that we created is to be used as both a lead magnet, educational material, and as promo for her new podcast, the Tech Legacies video podcast. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, couldn't you just create an ebook cover in Canva? Why pull in all these AI tools? But I have 3 compelling reasons for you. The first being escaping the limitations of stock imagery. Now, stock imagery is problematic on so many levels, but both the inherent bias. Have you ever tried looking on a stock image site, for example, for a middle-aged woman who isn't sad, baking cookies, or having a man explain something to her? And also just the limitations of what are out there. My second reason is the time involved for mediocre results. AI tools are going to take you to the next level. And my third reason is you don't want products that are looking like every other company's. This is going to differentiate you from your competition. And so for this ebook project, and for all the reasons that I just listed, we needed very specific and customized images that were representative of the real world of business and tech. Now, the client hadn't even thought to ask for those things when we co-created our brief in our consultation call, let alone that or an in-depth audience analysis. But up until now, where we have AI tools, that would not have been an option. So just as a side note, I always use AI tools to transcribe, analyze, and summarize my consultation calls for key takeaways and actionable items, and it's a great starting point. I definitely recommend. So now knowing where we're headed, let's get into the tools. Our first step is to go into ChatGPT to go deeper into the audiences that this material must attract and be of interest to. Then delve into what visual elements, color schemes, and imagery would really be speaking to them, and any other parameters to keep in mind. Now, you create a detailed prompt incorporating all the info you need to feed ChatGPT to have it do a complete analysis for you. You'll almost always get something with a ton of insight that will enrich your vision. So once you've mulled on these insights you've got, now you use the organic tool in this process, your creative imagination, and knowledge of design principles. So you're going to want to come up with some visual ideas of what the output could look like. With that in your pocket, we're going to hop over to MidJourney. So with all your ideas in mind, we're going to create a MidJourney prompt as detailed as possible to get a diverse array of business people, settings, and situations. I let my MidJourney results help me choose the design elements for the cover. Ideation and inspiration are just 2 of the big benefits of using a tool like MidJourney. Often, you'll have to further refine your MidJourney outputs, either through prompt adjustments or through the upscaling function on MidJourney. So that would be these buttons here. So I played with a few options, but then the one I settled on as a starting point was this image. I love the vibe and the expression of the businesswoman, and she's going to be the focal point of my graphic. But actually, before we hop out of MidJourney, I needed to make this image a little bit bigger. So I use the zoom out 2 times function because I actually want a little bit more on the side of this image to fill the page and really create the image that I'm going for. So now that I've zoomed out 2 times and gotten a wider and taller image, which I'm only going to use the bottom half of, I can go to my next step, which is Adobe Firefly. Now, like I said previously, you can do some pretty magic tweaking with your images in Firefly, like changing facial expressions, clothing, etc. For example, I don't want these items on the table here. The AI didn't produce a perfect image, But I can go into remove, highlight these pieces, and hopefully we will get a clear table that will now be completely useful for this vision that I have. Okay, that's not too bad. I can actually, let's see, we get a couple options. So it's not terrible. You can generate more if you're not happy with the outputs. And that is a perfect table. That is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm actually going to download this image and pull it right into Canva. Download it just like this. Now, as I'm using the free version for this demo, you can see that we get the Adobe watermark in the bottom corner. But there are workarounds for that, especially when we're just using a portion of the image, like we're going to be in this example. Now, let's hop into Canva. And the reason I'm using Canva for this is, number one, unlike other options like Photoshop, it's free. And for this specific case, my client wanted to create editable templates in Canva that she can be using in future. So in Canva, to create the ebook cover canvas, we are going to put in the dimensions that we wanted to. And once we have our canvas, we're going to start pulling in the image or images that you want to use. So here I pulled in my initial image that's going to be a higher quality than the expanded image that I created, the zoom out, and that has our watermark on it. So I pulled both my images in, and what I first want to do is create a transparent background on my main image. Now, since this demo is using free options, you won't have the background removal tool that I have in the Pro package. That's very, very useful. But a pretty good secondary option is 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃. I'll have the link in the comments of this video, and it's free background removals and does the trick. So here I have my gal with a nice transparency who's going to be in the foreground and my focal point. Now, I will do a couple things to incorporate my brand palette here, like do some overlays, put a background color in. So let's go through that process very, very quickly. And we have come to our final product. We started from ChatGPT creating our audience analysis, what elements, what visual elements, what motifs and designs are really going to psychologically impact our target audience. And then we went over to MidJourney and we created this beautiful visual element that without it, this ebook cover would, you wouldn't stop scrolling. You would not, your eyes wouldn't land on it. But with her nice smile and her, professional presence at the bottom of the page, it's really tying things together. And you were able to create that so easily with MidJourney. We were able to create a beautiful, clean table space here with the power of Firefly. We also could have given her an outfit change, but I'll leave that for our next video. And finally, we were able to tie all these elements together in Canva without using any of its AI powers, but, have this beautiful layout that is going to take the client or the audience on a bit of a journey down the page to land where we need them to and have a really nice visual experience that's going to captivate them and excite them and engage them to read the rest of the ebook. And that is the end of the AI tool for graphic design demo. I often get asked, how did I go from graphic design to implementing AI tools into nearly every aspect of my business and business processes? So I'll give a little background on myself to kind of tie everything together. Well, I've been doing art and later graphic design since I was a little kid, thus the design side, the right brain side. And growing up in a household of engineers and tech experts, watching my mom coding and developing online learning platforms since I was about 6 years old, that was the best example a kid could have had. That set me up as someone whom it's always been totally natural to just wade into new tech and tools to further my goals. So when I found out about the public release of generative AI late last year, and I started getting my hands on these tools, ChatGPT being the first one, I realized that my work, my graphic design business, all businesses were going to massively benefit and change. So as soon as I saw the power of these tools, I immediately started adopting them for myself, helping other businesses find their path as well. And I am not looking back. Now, while I see the potential and the incredible benefits of AI, I can also recognize its challenges. Incorporating AI into business isn't just about adoption, it's about smart adoption. As in the adoption of any tech, mistakes can be incredibly costly. That's why I always suggest if you are thinking about bringing AI tools into your workflow, into your business processes, I always want to recommend going to an expert, because a guide can help you save months of trial and error, and they can help you harness the power of AI very effectively and efficiently. Okay, I want to share a little bit about how AI is revolutionizing the design process for business professionals. Now, the potential that AI tools and platforms are giving us to rapidly create visuals that previously would have taken a professional team of artists or animators weeks, maybe months to create, that is game-changing. As you could see from the demo I did utilizing these AI tools in the design process, the adoption of AI tools is allowing us to amplify our skills and expertise. It's allowing us to ideate more creatively than we ever could before, design graphics and content better, faster than we ever could. But more importantly for me, it's the deep insights that we can gain on who you're creating for, how to appeal to them more, and how to create designs that are going to have the absolute most impact, psychological and otherwise, on that target audience. To date, this has often been an educated guess or what worked really well last time. But with AI tools, you are out of the gate of the design process, armed with the information that you need to make the absolute best visuals that are going to make the most impact. Now that I've talked about the incredible power of these AI tools that we can be leveraging, I want to discuss the cost effectiveness and time efficiency, and how do these AI tools stand up in terms of that, and what makes them a valuable investment for business professionals. Now, for me, there is the question of time efficiency and cost effectiveness. For sure, AI tools, platforms, and automations are going to save you incalculable amount of time and money doing things you've always done. For me, beyond the incredible power that it gives me as a designer and a content creator, what is so much more impactful for me is the deep analysis it can give businesses, you and me, insights for free. These are insights we never could have dreamed of before generative AI. You can do things like deep and rapid competitor analysis on your biggest competitors to see what they're doing and how. You can be conducting audience analysis in great detail to discover all of the possible demographics you are relevant to, who they are, what makes them tick, right down to the kind of language, messaging, and visuals that are appropriate, and actually a ton of other insights that you may never have thought of. Tools, LLMs are incredible ideation tools. You can be using psychological heat maps to indicate how users will interact with your content, helping you to optimize, without the time and expense of A/B testing, even before you publish. You can be doing data set interpretation and visual representation. Any aspect of a data set that you would like to compare or illustrate, rapidly done in seconds. I can tell you I wish I had that during my degree in sciences. You can be doing deep business strategy and project planning and targeted lead generation on unimaginable scale using AI tools. Now the list goes on, touching all business functions from marketing to sales, coding and testing, anything you can be imagining in the realms of business. But for yourself, you need to be thinking, what business processes in my business could be enhanced or automated using AI? Which could give me the best ROI? And where is the best place to start? And now you could try to figure this all out by yourself, but the best suggestion that I can give you is get a guide who can walk you through and show you the processes and the tools that are going to work the most effectively and impactfully in your business.